Is the Jordan 3 white cement reimagined worth it? In this video, we're gonna figure that one out. Hey everybody, I'm Actress, and welcome back to the only channel on YouTube that covers in-depth videos of cars and streetwear. And today we're kicking it back with this, the Jordan 3 reimagined. Continuing on with that trend Nike's doing right now, where they're taking old classics and giving it like this retro beat up look and then re-releasing them. For instance, the Jordan 1 Lost and Founds, which was an absolute hit, so decided to do it with the Jordan 3 white cements. But are they worth it? Before we get into the unboxing, be sure to like and share for that YouTube algorithm, subscribe. Any support would just be awesome. Now let's get into the unboxing. Alrighty, first off, I'd like to start off by talking about the box. And like the Jordan 1 Lost and Found, this one also comes in this kind of torn and beat up box already. Very interesting, but it's mostly in the corners and the outline of the box. You kind of see like the beat up details of it. But it's cool that they even did that at all. And besides the beat up look, this is just a normal Jordan 3 box. You know, red Jumpman background with elephant print on the bottom. Lifting up that lid, removing that wrapping paper, and whoo! My first impressions of this sneaker is really nice to see a return of a classic sneaker like this, but I don't really think it quite hits all the spots. More on that later. Here's a closer look at the Jordan 3 white cement reimagined, some background information. So obviously this is a re-release of the classic white cement Jordan 3 way back from 1988, and the style of this one is not just a one-to-one copy. They try to give it kind of like this aged and beat up look to it. This sneaker came out last Saturday with the retail price of $210. That is $15 less, by the way, than the Jordan 5 UNCs that came out a couple weeks before this one. Since then, obviously these sneakers have sold out and going for just a little bit above the regular retail price. So is these sneakers worth it? Well, let's start off by talking about the styling of the shoe, starting with the sole. Alrighty, so for the sole of the shoe, it's just a normal Jordan 3 outsole here. So going over some details, we have the little red swirls right here, followed by the gray blocky outlines with the little stars up front for the toes. And then also in this shoe, it features not a Jordan, but a Nike logo right there towards the center middle. And then outlining, and then for the background of that, we have some cream colors. Really nice. It's not just plain old white. They wanted to give it a vintage look, so they kind of give it kind of like this off-white cream look. Really nice. We see more of that coming to the midsole of the shoe. Jordan 3s probably have one of the best midsoles of any shoe, period. So it's just had these really nice curvy lines that come up to a point, and it's separated by these little sections. So the kind of like the first two sections are done in that cream I was talking about. Then the back bottom portion also done in cream with an exposed Nike air bubble. Above that though, we have this black section, giving it a little bit of a nicer contrast, and that swoops all the way to the inner portion where it kind of thickens up to give the sneaker more structure and support. And then for the rest of the toe, it's just normal white and about to age in that portion for some reason, with some gray stars as well. And I gotta say, you know, I'm kind of mixed feelings about how they did the cream on this shoe. I mean, part of me likes it because I do like that vintage look, but also it kind of offsets the shoe a little bit, in my opinion. Luckily, for a nice comparison, I have a 2013 pair of white cements, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It's really clean how the white on the midsole looks with the white on the uppers, and that's really nice. And now this one, the cream, now it is still cool that it has a vintage look, but I don't know, it just kind of offsets the shoe, kind of throws it off a little bit. I don't know, I might be going crazy. You guys might be thinking I'm stupid or something like that, but that's just how I kind of feel about it. So to the uppers of the sneaker, now there's a lot of cool details on this. First off, the majority of the uppers are covered in white leather, really good quality white leather. Comparing it to, once again, the older shoe, this one is a little bit more stiff and kind of feels a little more cheap. This one definitely has a more premium vibe to it. Feels more solid and robust. So we have this leather strip that's kind of smoothing out towards the bottom, and then tumbled leather for the top portion of the shoe with some stitch lines going across. Really nice and divides up the shoe and give it some more styling details. Another thing to mention about this shoe is the elephant print. God, the elephant print is absolutely amazing on this shoe. So it's just a classic white with the black cracks. However, they thin out the black cracks like how they were on the original Jordan 3 white cement. To give you a reference, this was the last release. As you can see, the cracks are a lot thicker and more bold, and this one, they're a lot thinner. I honestly really like that change. One, because it sticks to the original, and two, I think it makes the sneaker look better. So we have elephant print towards the quarter panel of the shoe and also wrapped around the toe. Let's talk more about the middle of this sneaker. First off, toe box, all tumbled leather. And then for the tongue, we have perforated leather. The perforations on this Jordan 3 are kind of wider in diameter, really more bold. The perforations on this Jordan release are a little bolder, a little wider in diameter compared to the last release where they were really, I'm trying to show you guys, they're really tiny and not as spread out. On the side right there, we have some red eyelids followed by some vintage style eyelids right there that kind of creamed out, give it that old look once again, followed by more perforations for those lace eyes. And then for the top of the lace eyes, they are black. The sneaker came with a pair of white laces, and I think that's the only pair of laces the shoe came in. Don't mind that at all, because I think white laces is probably the best way to go on these sneakers. And then on the top of the tongue, we have smoothened out white leather with an embroidered red Jumpman. The smoothen out leather is interesting because on most re-releases of the Jordan 3 white cement, they are actually tumbled on the tongue, whereas this one is smoothen out. On the back of the tongue, we have red fabric with the sizing tag. Let's give some more love to the heel of the sneaker. Now, the Jordan 3 heel is just so damn fine. I really love how the heel of this sneaker looks. The Jordan 3 silhouette has got to be probably one of the best sneaker silhouettes, period. I mean, you can kind of see how all the sneaker kind of comes together for the heel. Looks really well done. Most importantly though, the biggest thing on the heel is probably the pull tab. Now we have a Nike Air pull tab, so once again, this is how the original looked. Air logo is done in black with a creamed out background to give it that vintage look once again. Also, I might add, I really don't know how the vintage look really favors on the sneaker. One, it's cool, but two, I don't know, to me just offsets the balance of this sneaker, man. I don't think this is one of those sneakers that the vintage look really does well for a sneaker. Sock liner is done in white, with the majority of the interior of the shoe being done in white fabric. Then we have a red insole with another black Nike Air logo. And that about wraps up the styling of this shoe. Now, how would I wear this shoe? I really liked how NBA YoungBoy wore this shoe, the Jordan 3 white cement, and his cover of Dirty Diana. If anybody remembers the music video of that song, I think the song was actually called Dirty Iana. NBA YoungBoy is wearing a pair of Jordan 3s with a pair of kind of crazy jeans and a red jacket. Kind of give it an 80s look, and I think that's how you should wear this sneaker. In specific, try to give it an old like 80s style look with your outfit. Washed out jeans looks pretty damn good with this. I wore black jeans to kind of show you guys on my on feet footage. It also works pretty well, but looking back on it, I would definitely try to go with a more vintage style outfit with this sneaker. So go with a pair of washed out jeans with maybe some cool vintage tee or jacket. That's how I personally would wear this shoe. If you guys have any suggestions, please leave a comment below. If you guys are already thinking about pulling the trigger and buying the shoe, I would go true to size. I feel like Jordan 3s really run best true to size. But as always, if you have the opportunity to wear a pair before buying, I would do so because everybody's feet is different. Now with that out of the way, let's give my final verdict for the shoe on a scale of 1 to 10. For this one is very interesting. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. That's right, a 7.5 out of 10. Because, you know, the regular Jordan 3 white cement, I think, is a 9 out of 10 shoe. Pretty much a 10 out of 10 shoe if you really ask me, if you held my feet to the fire. And this one, I mean, it's a cool re-release. It was almost done really well. It's just how the kind of like the vintage cream on this shoe looks. I don't know, it just always offsets it to me. I might be the only guy on YouTube that doesn't really fall in love with this shoe or something like that, but just, I don't know. But it's still a good shoe, almost a great shoe. I mean, the materials are really nice, and it's still a Jordan 3 white cement at the end of the day. I still would probably prefer the 2013 release over these. Mine are a little beat up and not as the most clean pair, but you kind of can see, you know, just how the white and everything looks on this one compared to this one. I don't know, this shoe just kind of pops at me more. But is this sneaker still worth it? Given the current prices right now, not going that much over retail, I would say yeah. Because other Jordan 3 white cements are just ridiculous in price. I mean, I paid $500 for my pair of Jordan 3 white cements, and I consider that ridiculous, but I really wanted that shoe. So for this shoe being under the $300 range right now, I would say it's for sure worth it to get your hands on a pair of white cements. Anyways, that's just my opinion. I'm going to round off this video by talking about the future of the sneaker, where the sneaker's headed in terms of trends. Jordan 3s still have some hype to them, a lot of hype to them, to be honest. A lot of people really like Jordan 3s. With damn good reason too, because the silhouette is just timeless. And this is a big time collector's shoe, so I see in the future, maybe the next 6 months to a year by now, the sneaker prices would definitely rise to maybe the high 300s to maybe the low $400 range in the next 6 months to a year. And I think maybe prices might slow down after that. You know, I could be wrong and they still might just go up because all the Jordan 3 white cement pairs did. But yeah, that's what I think is going to happen in the future of this sneaker. And that's really all needs to be said. So the Jordan 3 white cement reimagined. What do you guys think about it? Comment down below your opinion, like and share for that YouTube algorithm. And last but certainly not least, subscribe. I'm going to exit off with some feet footage, so let's get to it.